Just because Olivier Giroud doesn't say welcome to Giroud Chelsea.
I mean, look at the goals and how many goals does
we're not comparing Ibrahimovic with Giroud, right?
Ibrahimovic at 39.
No, let's move on. That's a waste of time.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, let's not do that.
That's a waste of memory card.
Let's not do that.
Please.
That's a waste of memory card. Nice one. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the 1-2 TV. Man, we are here. I wish I wasn't, all things considered, but I am, because I love talking about Arsenal all the time. My name is Zuhum, Arsenal fan. I've got the usual culprit in Saddam Hussein. That is, he's always on the fence. He pretends he doesn't support any team, just AC Milan. Nobody gives a shit about Serie A, so he doesn't get any bants. He likes it that way. And we have a new guest in Murunga. Is that
good, man?
You all right?
I'm good.
This
Chilling.
is a Liverpool fan, clearly wearing some retro outfit.
This is back when we
never had a sponsor for your shirt kit. Yeah.
Crown Paints.
No, not Crown Paints. I meant like a football
No, we
jersey,
did. We
like
did.
Nike, Adidas.
It was Adidas. It used to be Adidas.
But
This is
Kama Sunday League.
it's the kind of team we are builders.
All right, so we're gonna get into quite a number of things. We've got, the game week 11 to round up, essentially.
What game, Chelsea?
West Ham Man United. I thought West Ham should have won the game, bro.
Yep.
3-1 Manchester. How did they win that game?
Was it the first 60 minutes that
these guys had two open nets they missed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they hit the post,
chances.
I think, once.
Yeah.
Ridiculous
and everyone.
And that's the thing. Like it was level at the time.
Yeah.
It was level
Going into the second half.
And then in the second open net chance they missed, tap in essentially.
Yeah.
It could have been 2-0.
Yeah, definitely. Sebastian Ola. Yeah, but
it comes down to Bruno. As in Manchester United are so dependent on that guy. Like, it's ridiculous. He has to score the goals. He has to make the assist. He has to make the subs.
I was actually reading a stat about Bruno Fernandes. Since he came to United, he's been involved in 21 out of 23 goals for United.
That is ridiculous.
He has scored 18, I think, in how many stats, and granted, a lot of people will say penalties and stuff, but even just in open play, he, like you said, they are very dependent on Bruno Fernandes right now. And, they're even talking about tripling his salary.
He is a leader.
He definitely deserves it.
Yeah, he makes, he gives instructions in the pitch. Like, Jama Mekuja,
he tells OGS what to do.
Yeah, he told OGS to sub Cavani.
Yeah.
But then United fans try and no, that was he was injured.
No. Still, as in, fair enough. Only Bruno can do that. That's the thing. Like, Bruno is the one that can talk to the coach and tell them, sub this guy.
Yeah, he's a
regardless
leader. He's a
natural
leader, and in the position he plays in, I think he can actually evolve into a key figure for United. In the years to come, if they can hold on to him. And he's instrumental for them.
And that's the thing. You don't necessarily attribute that kind of leadership with an attacking midfielder. Not a lot. Especially
not a lot. Maybe a center defensive midfielder.
Yeah, especially not someone who's technically quite brilliant. I mean, KDB is also a bit of a leader.
Yeah.
For Manchester City, but is he as vocal? And
he is vocal as well. Okay,
as vocal. But
you see, the thing is,
Bruno takes City on that captaincy with seriously,
Bruno
he just takes it.
Bruno is standing out at United because there's no one else.
There's no one else to stand up.
But
to
City,
that.
You can hear Walker speaking. You can hear even Diaz gives instructions.
And that's what makes champion teams. You have to have a couple of people in the team who are vocal. And
you go to Liverpool, it's the same thing. We have Van Dijk commanding. We have Alisson commanding. We have Midfield commanding. Henderson commanding. As in, you need at least 3 players who can actually speak and
Milner,
talk to the players.
Even Robertson is quite vocal.
Even Robertson is vocal as well.
Yeah.
Like Atambia to track back or something.
I think Milner as well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's why United, they don't have any. And I would argue Arsenal as well.
That's
we definitely don't have any.
When Liverpool was struggling a couple of years back, that was the one conversation that used to come up, and I agreed fully. We didn't have if you look back maybe to our 2009 team where you had Alonso and you had Gerrard and you had some strong characters in the team, and that's why we went to challenge for the league. That's why we won the Champions League. But whenever there's no one who can stand up, for the team, that's when you start dropping points. The Arsenal team, I don't need to tell you, but you remember the one when they were the Gunners, when you had the Vieras and the
that was the last of us,
Martin Keown's and the Dixons, and those were Adam, and those were leaders.
I get that.
But I think United need that.
Another importance we can use Milan at the moment. Like Ibrahimovic's importance in the dressing room.
Exactly.
Like all the players,
the goals.
The players are talking about. No, we for example, right now he's not playing, but we're still winning. But you see, the game is over, but also the players are referencing Ibrahimovic. He's not even playing. Like they're talking about in training. Like no one wants to lose those matches in training. As in your mentality now off the pitch, the winning mentality. Like we're not losing.
It's crucial, and you can see that was such a wise decision. A lot of football fans maybe might look at the decision to bring in Ibrahimovic as a desperate move, but I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's his influence they were looking for, his direction and his experience.
I mean, in the season that he was at Man United, they won the Europa League.
Exactly,
and that was crucial because
that was United's best year since Fergie left.
He brings there's a confidence that comes around when you have a player of that stature playing with you. You understand, like there's something it brings to especially the younger players or the players who haven't been there for too long. And I think that's what, if we're going to bring back Aston to the conversation, that's what they're lacking right now. They don't have,
No, I get that.
Like someone who's going to shout at you for doing a mispass. Like on the pitch, like, why didn't you pass the ball? Like you need someone to keep you accountable on the pitch. The coach, yes, is like, but I don't know if you noticed, by the way, when players make a funny error or something, or they make they always kind of look at the bench just to see what the coach's reaction is. But imagine now your coach is on the pitch, like there's Henderson there, there's Ibrahimovic there, like you have to do everything by the books.
You're critically accountable.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, fair. And look, Bruno, credit to him, right? What a fantastic player. There's the joke of Penandes. He does score a lot of penalties. That just shows he's good at penalties.
But someone has to score those penalties.
No, that just shows he's good at penalties. You know what I mean?
That is just jokes on Twitter, but in reality, everyone.
I scored a lot of penalties. I scored in competitive football. I was the penalty taker in a lot of my teams, and I'm over here making fun of it. So guys, stop catching feelings, man. It's just bants, man. Anyway, did you guys catch Mason Greenwood's goal?
Well, I heard about it. I mean, it was a wonder strike.
Kidogo Adebayor against Tottenham, man. But not in the same distance, but like just that touch, and then it went up in the air.
Was it intentional though?
I think it may have been actually.
Wow.
And the thing he was not as he didn't particularly perform well during that game until that moment, and that's what I think.
Until Bruno came, like everyone was flat. Even Pogba, until Bruno came, everyone just. And that's the thing I was talking about, the whole leadership thing. As in, Bruno will not relate you to do.
You can see that.
He's going to push you. He's going to make the right decisions. And then, I don't know if you saw his post on Instagram. Like, he's talking to Rashford after he scored the second goal. He's like, if you had missed this one, because I kind of threatening in a joking way.
Like, but that's still quite important.
You shouldn't be missing chances.
Exactly.
You understand? Exactly. And that is now in the mindset of Rashford right now. Najua, if he has a chance, he has to score because someone is looking at him.
I see. That's very important in the locker room.
Very important.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is more important than talent.
Yes.
Because you see, United have all the talent, but how on that guy that
on paper they're not a bad team.
We do move on though.
Yes.
Chelsea leads. They went 1-0 down, by the way, to Patrick Bamford.
Yeah, bad guy.
Yeah, he is a bad guy.
Leeds hit the post. They had so many chances.
Yeah,
but that's Leeds though. They create so many chances for fun.
Miss. Man.
Yeah.
Olivier Giroud, man, again, absolutely crucial.
I mean, that Olivier Giroud goal is a masterclass by Reece James.
Yeah,
that is something.
Yeah.
That is something Bissaka can never do ever.
True.
Yeah.
Like that mindset of seeing a space, running, perfect cross,
and knowing exactly who you're passing that ball.
By the way, top 10 right backs in the world by ESPN came out. We'll get you the image up on the screen. No Reece James.
I would understand why, to be honest.
Why?
I would understand why. This is his first season and matches a full.
Yeah, I mean, we're
And
not
last
even
season he was
6
on and
months
off.
in anyway.
Yeah.
Last season he was on and off.
Yeah.
And considering the league has started like maybe almost 2.5 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So I would understand why. But at the end of the season,
Let's look at it again.
100% he is down. 100%.
Who do you choose
Right now,
right now between Trent and Reece James?
Reece James.
You want to win a game. You're making the best possible
I'd
Premier League
choose
team.
Reece James.
Understandably so.
Because he can defend.
And he can attack.
Mostly because he can defend.
You said if you want to win a game, Trent Alexander-Arnold had the most assists, not over defender, but of any player in the
No,
league
it's okay.
last season.
That's why-
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne, but
Okay.
Trent and Robertson had record-breaking
No.
seasons.
We're not doubting his attacking ability.
But
Yeah,
Zuhum
nobody's
just asked
doubting.
if you want to win a game. Are we
But
gonna,
you-
Yeah, you're choosing
you
the
don't-
best possible player to
Listen,
what is he gonna do? He's gonna
win the game. Defend,
put those
attack,
balls in.
build up.
He's gonna
Okay.
put those balls in, and you're
defend,
gonna win.
counterattack.
but you don't win by only scoring. You also win by not conceding.
And you also don't win only by by defending.
Okay,
Thank you
You
for
also-
that.
let's-
Thank
let's-
you for
let's
that.
try-
That's
I
a
mean,
bit
he's
obvious.
saying the same thing.
Okay,
I'm
No,
saying.
he's not.
No, Murunga, listen, let's put it this way. What's it called? Defensive wise,
Yes.
Trent's defensive abilities is not as Reece James' attacking ability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you're trying to
He's
say.
more balanced.
He's weak.
Are you saying Reece James? But generally,
Reece James
basically,
is better at
basically, you're saying Reece James is a better right back.
Yeah, he is.
I'd like to think so.
Okay, I'm gonna keep quiet now.
Yeah,
Because
because
that is actually ridiculous.
He's a better right back. But you have to agree with this. Trent is more creative.
Yeah,
That's-
we're
I mean,
not
those are
doubting.
statements. How
We're
are
not
you-
doubting his
This
creativity.
is the
choosing
same
the best right
conversation
back.
United fans bring
No,
up
Kazi right
against
back
Wan
Ninini.
Bissaka.
No,
Kazi right
no.
back Ninini. Kazi
Trent-
right back. Kazi right back.
It's also
please.
to overlap.
Wait, Kazi right
It's
back.
also to overlap and create chances.
Yes,
and to
create
defend
chances.
as
I
well.
get that.
Yes.
Yeah, to defend. Now,
You know, we
who's-
make it seem like
I'm
Trent
not
can't
saying he
defend a
doesn't
ball
do
in his
that.
life.
I know. I'm not saying he doesn't do
Yeah,
that.
but what he does well, we have to give him credit for.
We of course
and that
have
is
to do that.
is part and parcel of what a right back is supposed to be.
I get
who
that.
Who are some
but
of the
nobody's
greatest?
asking a right back to have them to break records.
Look at what
for
people like
assists.
Zambrota. Look at what people like Roberto Carlos on the wings used
They
to do.
could defend way
They could
better
do.
than
Yes,
what
but
Trent is doing.
they could
Dani
attack. And
Alves.
they could overlap very well as well. Are you gonna say Reece James can do
Yes,
just as much
he can do.
as Trent?
He can.
as
He
Trent
can. He can. Listen, Trent can. Trent is very good at attacking.
Let him win a Champions League and a
Listen.
league first at 19. Then we can talk.
That's a fair point, though.
Then we can talk.
I mean, his boy won a
Reece
Champions
James-
League
Reece-
And a
Premier-
league.
and Premier
And
League
broke
at
the
19.
record for any defender
I mean,
in the world
you have-
with assists
you have to give
and
credit.
goals.
Reece James hasn't done
Come
that.
on, man.
Reece James doesn't have Van Dijk.
Let's have some respect
Reece
for,
James doesn't have
for
Van Dijk.
facts and let's be objective.
But he doesn't have
Why I take him is because he's more balanced.
Yes,
That's
I get
why.
it. I get exactly
Yeah.
why you're saying. Yeah, what you're
and I would
saying.
understand why we can't compare Bissaka in this conversation because Bissaka
Yeah.
is just.
Bisaka wasn't in the list.
Yeah,
so why,
yeah.
why did you
Yeah.
mention
He mentioned him.
But you see, that's how
He
funny
was
this
trying to-
is, sir.
he
If
was-
it was last year, everyone would be up in the air saying, you remember how
Not
many
everyone,
fans used to
United
say
fans.
Van
United
Bissaka? And I was
fans,
like,
United
people,
fans. I have
people used to
never
claim
rated
that this guy is
Bissaka
better
that
than
much.
Trent Alexander. And I was like, are you smoking crack
Yeah,
as you watch
need,
football?
You need to stop hanging out with dumb people.
So United
Fair.
fan.
I mean, I tried to get away from you, but I mean, look, fair enough. In my opinion, like I said,
Yeah, I get it. I get
I
it.
think at the very least,
I get
Reece
it.
James deserves a mention because despite the lack of longevity in so far his career, he's been impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way I see it is, you'd leave Tariq Lamptey for the same reasons as well.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know what I
I
mean?
get yes.
But
yes,
Tariq
yes.
Lamptey just hasn't done it. At
He
a
hasn't
level
proven
that Reece
himself yet,
James
yeah.
has yet.
Yet, yeah.
You know, but he's bloody brilliant.
Hopefully they'll get there.
Someone who continues to miss chances, Timo Werner.
Yeah,
Is that?
man.
Should
I-
we be worried?
I don't.
I
rate
love
him at
Timo
all.
Werner, but
You don't rate him.
I don't rate him. I think
really.
he is
I'm
just
worried
quick.
about this.
He is a good winger. I don't think it's crazy because he's a striker. Sawa, who can play very well on the wing. Sawa, he's fast.
That's essentially what
he's
he is.
quick, but that's it. His finishing is disastrous.
In my opinion, by the way,
Yeah.
I was kind of, because I'm a bitter Arsenal fan. We're all petty fans in our own way.
Yeah.
I was hoping that he would prove to be
Mediocre.
Not mediocre. He's
yeah.
not mediocre for sure.
He's
not
not.
mediocre.
He's not.
He's just not clinical. Whatever he is, he's not clinical.
You know.
And it's showing. I knew he wasn't clinical from last season when I watched him in
yeah.
the Champions League. He missed crucial chances, but luckily his team wasn't necessarily punished.
Leipzig was it? Yeah.
Leipzig, yeah. And it's nothing's changed. I mean, some of these chances that he's missing are so gilt-edged.
I mean, I might get flack for saying this, but Werner kind of reminds me in terms of movement of Eden Hazard.
Mm.
Maybe he doesn't have the ability
Dribbling
and the finishing,
ability.
but in terms of dribbling and
And
space,
pace and direct.
and I
how
think
direct
he's a
he
young
is.
player. I think he can be molded. If Lampard has it in him to mold this player, he can be very instrumental in that team. Maybe not looked at as a finisher but I get that's what he was bought for. But I think he can be a very instrumental player at Chelsea. You've just adjusted a bit.
But so far
clearly,
he has been very wasteful.
the most essential player in this team is Olivier Giroud.
Well, obviously it's Mount.
It's
Mount, but we get the Giroud vibe.
Mason Mount.
but
And, Giroud, I think we're just now on a...
Is Giroud the best ever target man you've ever seen?
Absolutely not.
No.
Who's better, Heskey? I mean,
To me, Ibrahimovic.
I don't think that's the only person. Even I think Giroud is a better target man as a player
Peter Crouch.
than Peter Crouch and Didier Drogba.
As
a target man.
I forgot Drogba.
As a target man. Because who brings others into play the way Giroud does? The flicks, the kinds of goals that he scores. I mean, he's absolutely clinical with headers.
Yeah.
But obviously, Drogba is has more stature.
Yes, exactly.
He's
yeah.
Ibrahimovic-esque in a way.
Yes.
Ibrahimovic is 39, bro, and he's top scorer of the series.
I mean, Giroud can replicate that, by the way. I really don't see why
he
Giroud
hasn't
can't
played
do
for 4
that.
games.
Yeah, but I don't think when we look back at their careers, I think Ibrahimovic has done it for much better, much longer than...
Well, has he?
Giroud.
Because Giroud has more European trophies than this guy does.
Trophies, yes, but I'm talking about
European
as an
trophies.
individual.
European trophies.
As an individual.
Just because Olivier Giroud doesn't say welcome to Giroud
No.
Chelsea,
I mean, look at the goals and how many goals
We're
does
not comparing Ibrahimovic with Giroud, right?
Ibrahimovic
No,
at 39 has
No,
a-
let's move on. That's a waste of time.
Yeah, I think let's not do that.
That's a waste of memory card.
Let's not do that.
Please.
That's a waste of memory card.
Yeah.
Nice one. But look, Chelsea still looking strong, man, taking care of Leeds. Tottenham Arsenal. Let's get into it, guys. All right.
No, that's... Arsenal lost 2-0. We move
We
on.
expected this, though. We expected a
Yeah.
defeat, to be honest.
Yeah,
right?
we did.
What frustrates me about Arteta is we conceded the goals, and maybe they were a bit unlucky. Maybe there's an element of bad luck there, right? But we conceded the goals in exactly the same way everybody expected we would concede those goals.
Mm-hmm.
On the counter,
Yeah.
2-3 passes. Look,
Yeah.
even Man City got undone the same way, right? And Jose Mourinho did mention that.
Yes,
they're
yes.
very good coaches, him and his
Yeah, he does that. He does that.
cheeky bastard. Anyway,
The whole
But-
family, coaching assistant, working the same tactics.
but at the end of the day, Arteta was undone by his own players, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, he chose Granit Xhaka when Mohamed El-Neni was a very viable option. Right? The best midfield performance in our team this season
Mohamed
so far,
El-Neni.
and even under Mikel Arteta, came when we had Thomas Partey and El-Neni.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's a pity also Thomas Partey had to limp off,
Yeah.
second, just before you considered
Yeah,
the
a
second.
lot
but
of. By the way, I want to address this. A lot of people go like, "Oh, Mikel Arteta shouldn't have played him," but it was the fans that were like,
calling for it.
Thomas Partey has to
I-
play. So that's the
I
risk
read
you take.
I read the weeks to the game. You could see fans really, are we gonna have
Asking
a party
for
to
it. Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that? And
Yeah.
But okay, listen, you're a coach.
do you listen to the?
You have a player who's very important to you.
Yeah.
Sawa. Whether he loses or not, he wasn't going to get sacked. Sawa.
Yeah, I fully agree.
I don't think that game... I don't think
Was
you
the
guys were
determinant.
expected to win, if anything. Sawa. Why risk party in a game that you were to lose anyway?
I fully
but
agree.
Saddam, when you
I
ask
fully
that,
agree.
you guys bought what's his name? Malgueso.
Magares.
Yes, and then you have two expensive guys at the start of the season, or just as we closed last season. When you say you are not expecting Arsenal to win, isn't that a bit unfair? Because you guys did a number on Liverpool, did a number on Manchester City, just as we closed the season.
No,
The
but
same
things
players.
changed, didn't they? Of course.
But you see, in such a short space of time, can we then say things have gotten that bad to the point where we're saying we are disregarding any chance that Arsenal has of winning that game?
Of even getting into the Champions League. I mean, that's how bad it's gotten.
for that game, it wasn't more of how Arsenal bad is. It
I
was
think
more
that's
of
more
how
to do.
Spurs were good.
Yeah, Spurs.
Yeah, but
if
if you look at I watched that game and I feel, I don't know if there was an element of luck, but you guys had like 44 crosses into the box.
There's no the previous game. Walcona
37.
30
Yeah,
something.
you had chances. You controlled the.
We
the-
did
the-
have
the
chances.
ball.
Look,
So sometimes you can't always peg. Football is football, but when Mourinho stands there smug and his players, Harry Kane boasting how now 11 goals in the London derby. That was not. If anyone takes away those highlights, they'll be like Tottenham. They did not dominate Arsenal. They did not outplay Arsenal. Yeah. I truly feel it was just a case of bad luck.
Okay, I completely disagree.
I also disagree.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah, as an Arsenal
when
fan,
you're playing Spurs, right now,
yeah,
Spurs will not want to keep the ball. Spurs will let you have the ball, so that you have this sense of feeling that you're controlling the game. But you're not controlling the game. When you have the ball, and Spurs are already thinking about their next step when they get the ball. So no matter when you guys lose the ball immediately, they are already a step ahead. Whoever make run up, so they don't want the ball.
I just want to add to that.
They just want to cover.
Yeah, so they make you keep the ball so that you're dominating.
And you could see it.
Yeah. I want to add to the point. You see, it's fine if Spurs defend so deep, and that's all they do.
Yeah.
It's fine if you're Liverpool. It's fine if you're City. It's fine if you're United, who you have a lot of creative central midfielders, wingers, and strikers, right? But all we have were Dani Ceballos and Granit Xhaka, and who like to pass the ball sideways.
Yes.
That's their pass map, okay? If that's our tactic, is to get the ball out wide and then cross it. And by the way, crosses also mean cutbacks and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's fine. But if that's our tactic against a team that plays in a back three, and our strikers have scored less than 10 goals between them, 10 headed goals between them,
it's not gonna work.
How's that gonna work? Like, as a manager, surely you can't risk it on Kieran Tierney and Bellerin finding a perfect cutback when we haven't done that in how many games now? We haven't scored from open play in how many games?
Yeah.
Right? Like a proper... forget the Willie and Gabriel Magalhaes. That was still a set piece.
But there were chances.
Of course there were chances, but were they good chances? There was I think, was it Jeff Shreves? I was watching an analysis of his, and he asked Mikel Arteta in the post-game interview, were there enough good created chances? Did you guys create enough good chances? And Arteta is like, we put the ball in as many times as we could. No, we didn't create. Think of one chance.
One decent chance.
Where like you go like a striker. Nah, he should have
buried that.
He should have scored that.
None.
Even forget that. Forget the Tottenham game. In the last 6 games, have you seen one chance Aubameyang being put through on goal? Lacazette. You're just thinking, what? They should have scored that. Or, wow, that's a decent goal. Jamie Vardy being put through by James Maddison after he picked up the ball. I was like, wow, must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
The other thing is, okay, Arteta's confused. Sawa. You're playing Spurs. Sawa. By the way, thinking about this, Arsenal, the last games you guys they run, you had mulikuwa nayo all the way to FA Cup. Remember that run you guys had all the... How did you win? How did you win the big games? By sitting back and doing counters. Sawa. Now they're playing Spurs who wakiwa na ball nyuma, they're kicking it mbele. They want you guys to get the ball.
Exactly.
They don't want to press, they want to pass nyuma nini. They're kicking the ball up so that you guys get the ball. Sawa. And then so they sit back. So it's kind of dumb for Arteta to play to the exact thing about Mourinho anataka.
That's the thing, you see. Arteta is trusting these players who are naive themselves.
Yes.
Right?
He's
and
hoping.
That in and of itself is naive.
What he's doing is he's hoping.
Yeah, he's hoping.
Let's say he's hoping. I think that's a good way. Because
hoping.
Think about it, right? Granit Xhaka in the first goal. Forget the second goal. The second goal, there was all that confusion of Thomas Partey, whether he should have come off or whatever, right? But in the first goal, Granit Xhaka was one of the most advanced midfielders.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this guy is a 27-year-old Swiss international.
Yeah.
He's the captain of a nation. And at some point, he was the captain of the team. Why is he bombing forward so high? Especially when you're playing in a midfield 2 with Thomas Partey, who you know has just passed a late fitness test. At some point, I remember Granit Xhaka was picking up the ball. Thomas Partey was the only person in the midfield. I genuinely believe that if Arteta and Arsenal have any chance of recovering this season in some way, whatever they do with that recovery, if it's winning a trophy, maybe the Europa League, or maybe somehow climbing back to 7th, right? Whatever they do, if they have any chance of doing that, they have to stop playing with Ceballos and Granit Xhaka. Simple as.
Who do you put there?
We have to sign midfielders.
January.
Simple as. I don't know who we're going to sign. We have to sign midfielders.
No, something
because
dramatic has to happen.
Something dramatic has to happen. Exactly. We have to spend big money.
Or you have to change the coach.
Yeah, but you see,
no, wait.
Or change
I'm
the
not
coach.
changing the coach for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
I'm not changing the coach for a number of reasons. And I think even as an AC Milan fan, you can relate. Before we get to AC Milan, right? If you look at...
We can't relate, sorry.
You can. You've been in the Europa League longer than we have.
We're top of the league now.
And you're doing so well. You're doing so well. If you look at the passers in midfield, right? If this was an Arteta issue that I had with these midfielders, then Thomas Partey would be doing the same thing. Mohamed El Neni would be doing the same thing. They'd be passing sideways.
Yeah.
They'd be looking to find the wing backs only.
Yeah.
But when Mohamed El Neni and Partey play on separate occasions, whether they're put together or not, because I've seen him do it against Liverpool, remember, in the Community Shield?
Yes.
We saw him in the other games after that. Partey and El Neni, for different reasons, they're more progressive. They're more athletic.
So it's not a coaching thing. It's
not a coaching.
It's an
It's
individual
a player
player
profile
thing.
They don't mind receiving the ball in a midfield pocket where there's like two midfielders around them. They don't.
Exactly.
They're very comfortable doing that.
Yeah, they're okay with
Ceballos, Xhaka, they need to see everything in front of them. And that's what pisses me off. That's what gives me hope that if Arteta does sign quality midfielders, in my opinion, that things will dramatically change, because the midfield is such an integral part of any footballing team. If you look at, for example, the way Joe Willock plays, or if you look at, for example, the players that we had before, Thomas Rosicky, very press resistant. They were very comfortable. That's why they could play that progressive kind of football. Now, also, when it comes to this Arteta out thing, right? Because this guy was trending. It was trending. It was, I think, close to 7,000 tweets on Sunday.
Deservedly. I don't think there's nothing wrong with...
I mean, I respect your opinion. Let's get into that first, for example, right? Because... obviously, we've all seen the stats, man. 20th in Giuinini. Created chances were like 18th. Mara shots outside. Apparently, we have the least amounts of shots taken in the second half across all of the professional teams in England. That's 92 teams.
Jeez. But I think with the Arteta
92 teams,
that's madness.
What's good? Any Norwich madness. Have more shots than us in the second half.
That brings me to my point regarding this. There has to be a point, even when you look back at coaches who've been appointed to salvage, Arteta was brought in after, what was his name? The former Sevilla guy, Emery. To salvage things, to make things a bit better for the team. If you look back at all the teams that have done that, you expect a bit of a struggle, maybe 8th, 9th, but that's about it. But when you start registering 16th and 15th, clearly, there's a problem tactically, mentally. He's not up to speed.
I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know that I agree that he's not up to speed. Sorry.
Because if you look at, we're not talking about. I'm not no disrespect to Leicester, but Leicester, I mean, they're performing well. But we're not talking about Leicester. We're talking about Arsenal, which is supposed to be ranked with the Chelseas and the Liverpools and the Manchester Uniteds and the Man Cities, traditionally.
But maybe that is the problem. Maybe we don't need to rank them there. Maybe Arsenal are no longer that team.
Yes, but when you say that's Saddam.
Okay, can I just add to that? I don't think it's maybe. I think we have regressed. And I think it has, it runs way deeper.
You guys you've never had the disappointment maybe that Liverpool fans have. So I'm talking from a point of having gone through this, like in the 2010, 2011, 2012 era.
2015, 2016. What do you mean, bro?
Yeah, even before Klopp. Sooner, exactly. Even before Klopp. Just before Klopp. When we had the
Brendan Rodgers, you guys were
Brendan,
there,
at least we were playing exciting football. We were second in the league.
We won the league with Brendan.
We almost prior.
But then when he was sacked, things just kind of fell away.
They fell away. But at the same time, even Klopp, when the first time he came, he was hailed as a savior. He had inherited a squad that was very...
I remember that squad.
A few guys were okay. A lot want. But first season, like 8th, 7th,
Eighth.
right around
there. 8th.
Yeah. So
also lost the Champions League final. Europa League final.
Yes, lost. But you see, there was some progress being registered.
100%.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We're not seeing that. Granted, it's first season, but we're not seeing any of that with Arteta.
Also considering Arsenal have a far much better squad compared to what Liverpool inherited.
I genuinely don't think so. we've gone essentially about 2 months without winning a Premier League game. Just about, right? Last season, people forget this. Even Arsenal fans forget this. But last season, we also went on a 2.5 month run with no Premier League wins. And that was just before we sacked Unai Emery. What does that say? It doesn't necessarily say that Unai Emery is bad. In my opinion, it says that this squad is bad. And this is a result of, for example, the decline that AC Milan saw. You guys had an amazing team. The recruitment under several different regimes and management teams, right, was poor. But you guys had players called Zapata. Who the hell is Zapata?
Yeah. Colombia.
And
Colombia international.
Liverpool
just like
tried to get
is
him
also
actually.
Colombia. It was also a Switzerland international.
Yeah.
Right now, what I think is our biggest issue is we're paying back, right? We're paying for our mistakes. And our mistakes, by the way, mean the regime, the ownership. They weren't like Liverpool. They weren't on top of things.
No, they weren't.
Now they're starting to be.
Or you think so?
No. I've seen articles, so many articles that actually have a lot of inside information.
I can't disagree because you guys wanted Awa and you didn't buy Awa.
I agree.
So
with
why
that.
you saying
they
that
did try?
difference?
Remember that was our first.
No.
Because this is a conversation that I think that comes up a lot about Arsenal. I think we're dealing with the same demon that has plagued Arsenal for a couple of years now.
Kroenke.
Exactly.
Not more than a couple of years, since 2007.
Yeah. So do you guys suddenly, like you say, maybe things are changing, but I think we've come down and we've agreed that the problem at Arsenal right now is not necessarily the manager, but does he need to be backed to a point where he can compete?
But let's just clarify this, right? Doesn't mean Arteta is
not at fault. Yeah.
No, he is.
But at the same time, it's a conversation like I always compare Arteta and OGS. You understand?
One has a trophy, the other one doesn't.
Yeah, but at the same time, like both a lot of pressure, both not old, fairly young managers,
and not given the proper backing, in my opinion.
Not given exactly. But at United, I feel financially there would be more backing for OGS than there would be at Arsenal. There has been exactly.
Simple as.
At Arsenal, the problem is, do you then need a coach? Are Arsenal looking for a coach who needs players or a coach who has the tactical ability to transform the team?
Because I think Arteta doesn't have the tactical ability to make average player do wonders. He doesn't.
I agree with you on that front because
that's harsh, right? Because Saka's best form came in that run.
But we would have seen it.
No. Yeah,
would have seen glimpses of it.
No, right now.
No, I'm saying if he was that kind of coach who brings out the best in his players, like
Bellerin will be doing well,
who goes and really digs in, like look at what maybe Ranieri did at Leicester.
Yeah,
not particularly 5-star rated players, but he got the most out of those players.
He did.
Mourinho at Porto, for example.
OGS with guys like Solskjaer.
Yes, but my point is,
you know what I mean? Like seriously, like guys like no, not OGS. Alex Ferguson.
Alex
guys
Ferguson,
like Solskjaer, O'Shea.
Yes.
Guys who weren't necessarily legendary players.
My point is, wouldn't we have seen glimpses of that plan starting to come together? Like, I might be attacked for this, but this year we told Chelsea, this is when you prove yourselves. Because last year was transition. Yeah. You couldn't sign any players. But what did Frank Lampard do? He still managed with a transfer ban. I could argue
Lampard did a much better job.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, and excuse me for talking so much, but I think Lampard, yes, I agree, did a much better job at Chelsea. He proved that he can work with limited ability and limited funds. I don't think we saw those glimpses of Lampard, enough of them for him to qualify with that team for the Champions League. I don't think we've seen any of that from.
As a matter of fact, with Arteta, we've seen him make a world-class player average.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. He has an opposite effect.
I mean, we're laughing at Pierre. I used to fear Aubameyang.
Lacazette was a decent
player. And Arteta helped them get the most goals last season as well. Wait. Let's talk. Let's talk about this because you just mentioned a very good point, right? That Champions League season last season.
Yes.
Because if you want to credit Lampard with that, you should also give credit to OGS. But I remember in November,
yes, I do.
You do, huh?
I do.
I don't. Both of them, by the way. I don't. No. I actually don't
Yeah.
rate those achievements. Because remember, when people talk about Jose Mourinho and what he said he could do, right? That was the best I could do with this team.
Yeah, and he did okay. I mean, they won a cup.
They were 19 points off the top.
Yeah, but they won the Europa,
That's why you always have to look at a season in perspective.
Yeah.
At some point in November, December, we were asking ourselves, Who the hell wants to be in Champions League? Because every single team was dropping points week in, week out.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
The race was open not because of how competitive everybody was. It was because of how uncompetitive everybody was.
It was because of how competitive it was.
No. Tottenham sacked their manager.
So you're going to say that's why Liverpool won the league?
No. Liverpool won their
they
league.
Were brilliant.
I mean, you guys were fantastic.
Okay.
You did get slapped up 4-0 by Man City. So much for champions. And by Arsenal.
We were hungover.
Whatever. And Watford 3-0. But you want to continue? Yeah, painful. You see. Anyway, I genuinely believe everybody else was so uncompetitive that anybody could. I mean, last season, United were being talked about in terms of relegation. Then they signed Bruno. He, in my opinion, sees this open playing field. Lampard's fucking up. Tottenham are fucking up. It's there for the taking.
No.
That's what I think. I don't think it was amazing achievements. It was good achievements because they matched it. Yeah, it's like you should be getting a B in a test. Wait, you should be getting a B in a test, but it's not a great achievement.
It's not fantastic.
No, it's not. It's something you should be doing.
I mean, but at the same time, look at all the pressure that surrounded these young managers. Big, huge clubs, your legends, considered legends,
coaching first team in the league.
Yes, exactly. I mean, they had coached like Lampard. I mean, coming from Derby County, coming into this a big team. Let's call Chelsea a big team. Let's accept it's a big team.
And Chelsea is one of the toughest jobs because
you
will be sacked.
You will be sacked
when you make the slide. Patience.
And I think what he did was, and he was not all the time in the world, but you were told, listen, I need you to do a job with this team. Don't embarrass us. Don't finish. I mean, guys were finishing. There are teams like what was it? Was it a season ago when United finished sixth? Yeah, exactly. Things like that. But for him to actually qualify for the Champions League, transfer ban, we forget that. It's not easy to compete against some of these teams.
And that still had better players than any Arsenal.
That makes it easier.
But you look at the players. Tomori. Look at the players. Mount,
James, Tomori, Mount, Tammy Abraham. Those are the players he brought.
These are the players.
Kante, Kovacic.
Kante had one of his worst seasons last season.
But Zuhum, you're talking about players.
Kante had a very terrible season last season.
But Zuhum,
that says a lot about the season.
But they're not gonna get you those goals. Those are players who will show up your midfield, yes. But you still need those creative sparks in Mount, who emerged as a good player. Tammy Abraham, Tomori in the back. Kat Zuma stepped up. You understand? So I do credit.
I wouldn't say he stepped up.
Speaking
also,
yes,
but he was even now, like he's having a fantastic.
We can see the improvement.
The improvement
right now, he's the best defender in the league.
Yeah, but now let's go to that point. And I mentioned this to the audience. I said, hold on to that statement this guy made. If you don't spend money, you cannot perform in Europeans' top leagues. Simple as, whether you like it or not.
Listen.
Wait. Let me finish. Right on the Chelsea point.
Yeah.
On the United point. Right.
Yeah.
Ian Wright, in my opinion, rightfully said, if Arteta had the attacking players of Chelsea or United, he mainly named United, okay? If he had the attacking players, the guile, the creativity, the risk-taking of United players, he can win the league.
Bullshit. I disagree with him. I think he's talking shit.
I think he's talking shit.
He's talking shit. Just because Ian Wright doesn't mean it's fucking word of script. It's bullshit.
Man. What do you mean?
Bullshit.
Even Barnes is a legend for us, but he talks a lot of shit.
Speaking of getting money, Lampard was backed, and he deserved to be backed.
And he bought fantastic players.
Listen, they were banned. Noka finished top 4.
Yeah.
With zero spending. Even if you're the owner of the club, you have to reward him. You have to give him something. And they bought players at a very good price. They didn't buy a single player that is overpriced. I would say maybe Havertz.
There were no
but that's it.
There were no panic buys.
Timo Werner? Yes. Timo Werner wasn't overpriced?
He wasn't overpriced. He was like, 40-something or 50-something?
And they fought for Timo.
That is a good price.
Really?
Okay, another thing that I want to add before we finish with Arteta. Man management. So, one thing I like about OGS, as much as people can argue he is tactically inept, his man management is so good. Ukiangalia Aubameyang, so for example, remember, did you watch the interview before the derby?
Yeah.
It was horrible. He was speaking, he was Anangalachini. His head was down. I said, we'll win. Like, you could see his body language is exactly the same on the pitch. That's how he speaks even
when he laughs. He laughs
no,
I swear to God, that's
how he is. Listen. Go watch that video on Twitter.
But I hear you.
Go look at the comments. Everyone's questioning his body language. So, Look at it this way, sawa. Aubameyang is, as we said, Aubameyang is the vibes guy in the dressing room, sawa. They have this, he has good relationship with the players and all that, sawa. Remember Saliba, he's in the clique of Aubameyang, like I said, the French speaking or whatever, sawa.
Yeah.
Ozil, you can argue the same because they were all kind of almost the same age mates, sawa. The same manager, Ameka Ozil out of the team for literally no reason. So he's not
the
same manager. He's Saliba. He's out of this. You have registered like four keepers, and you're not just Saliba. So look at it this way.
Or rather, we've registered Mustafi.
Yeah, look at it this way.
But not Saliba.
Look at it this way. Because remember, this is a bunch of people who have emotions. So
of course, you have to
remember when you're in class, if there's one teacher ambaye anachukia your friend here or someone you will by default don't like him.
That's true.
Manelewa. So I kind of want to believe that there is some. I think he has lost some of the players.
Possibly.
He might maybe Obama is not so Pogba at a age and okay, I tweet some nonsense. But I genuinely believe that Obama is. I don't think they are on the same wavelength as
right
Arteta. Every week, I just see another crack. Right now, I don't believe Obama believes whatever the fuck this guy anamwambia. Wako to say it will get to a point whereby they would actually want this guy to go. It will get to that point.
I hope it does because it's the players. Because
you see the thing is,
yeah.
You also need your scoring players to be on your side,
bro.
I don't think those guys. The last two games, Aubameyang's body language in the pitch is awful.
I saw that.
He's not making runs.
I saw that.
But that's true of all the players.
Yeah.
But see, that.
But you see, that communicates something about the manager, doesn't it?
Yeah, that comes to that's like a bigger problem.
Guys are signing out. Guys are checking out.
Yeah, and that is how managers lose jobs.
Guys are checking. I don't think Arteta, to me, and granted, we don't get to see the times when he's doing his man management with players. That's private sessions.
Yeah.
But
you can only speculate.
No, but we can see signs. Come on.
There is some rigidity and there's a robot-like tendency to him. I do not think with such a squad of players, I don't think he's captivating enough. I don't think these players are looking up at him and saying, this is a person I want to play for.
I genuinely also don't believe.
And I think that's a big problem because tactically you might be fantastic. You see, under Pep, we didn't see that because Pep is that person. He's effervescent. He grabs players by the scruff of the neck and tells them, you're a good player. I remember what he did with Townsend, Crystal Palace versus Man City.
I remember.
They had won the game by many goals, but he goes to Townsend particularly and tells him, you know what, you're a fantastic player. You should have done this. Next time, do this. He's just he loves football.
It was Redmond. No, it was
it Redmond?
Yeah, I think it was
not Townsend. It was Redmond. Yes.
Yeah.
And he was telling him dude, you're a fantastic player. Arteta doesn't have that. Arteta was the executive assistant to a charismatic individual. He's not that charismatic individual. I think what Arsenal saw in Arteta was that, yes, fantastic, captain the club, did wonders for them, moved on to Everton. I think what they saw was that this guy would bring the tactics he's picked up at City, his time with a fantastic coach
winning
Guardiola,
winning back
to back. But when he came to Arsenal, it was quickly discovered that as an individual, he might not be there yet. He just doesn't. I don't think he has that. Look at. There's some bigger than life characters. Look at Klopp. Look at Pep Guardiola.
Mourinho.
Look at Mourinho. You need that kind of.
I get that
fire.
I think there's some parts of what you just said and some parts of what you've been saying that I accept.
Yeah.
But my hope still lies in Arteta doing enough to maintain the job long enough such that he can bring his own players.
Yeah.
Then those
prove
players,
himself.
because they're, like I said, we mentioned last week as well, there was an interview that he did with a Spanish outlet. He talked about 4, 5, 6 players that bring a specificity.
And to be honest,
at the end of the day, whether you're going to get those players, Saddam, and you're right, you have to match enough results to just stay afloat. Keep your head above
and
water
that's the reason
long
why
enough so that you survive and actually get.
And
those
that's the reason
players.
why OGS amefika hapa.
OGS
will never put his.
He has much better players.
No. Regardless, you see, OGS. No, there was a time walikuwa na terrible midfielders.
Yes, McTominay and Fred.
McTominay, Fred, na Pogba alikuwa injured before Bruno was bought. Towards the end of last year. No. Let me say something.
Before Bruno was bought, these guys were still struggling, man.
That's what I'm saying. Before Bruno was bought, they were struggling. They had a couple of months where they had a terrible
run. Yeah.
As in Ujamaa being sacked was almost inevitable.
I remember I was wondering why
the players were always on his side. He had never lost players even once. Pogba ameenda kujitibu. He came and defended him. Like even people are saying, well, is this guy dumb or what is he doing? But see him, he knows he needs time. At the end of the day, he's gonna now. He bought Bruno. He has Van der Beek, who, in my opinion, are the replacement or the future of midfield for United, not Pogba. He was smart enough to make sure that he still has a dressing room. Luke Shaw, I don't think is the future. But then again, as much as horrible as Luke Shaw is, Luke Shaw still kind of believes like Bodo Luke Shaw would fight for Ole. That's why we always see that every single time we almost think they're going to lose, they bounce back. That is them now pushing the limit to fight for their manager. I don't think Arteta has the team.
And West Ham was testament to that.
Yeah, even PSG game.
The last game they played.
No, it was Everton. Everton.
United when they came back.
Oh,
from
yes.
Yeah, they
came back from behind.
Yes. Also beating Everton.
I mean,
out
even
of nowhere.
Beating
PSG
that's
out of nowhere.
That's character. No,
even that run they were on.
Yes,
they beat Leipzig. And they were defensive performances,
and
but they won.
Even PSG, they tried. I mean, they lost the last game to PSG, but the first game they really.
Yeah, I think they should have won the second game.
Exactly, they played well.
Should have lost the first one. So. But yeah, look, I hear you. And that's the thing with Arteta is that this is what we signed up for. We knew he was going to be inexperienced. We knew he was going to have to learn things on the job.
But,
now I just genuinely hope, I'm not Arteta out. I genuinely believe if he has the right players, he'll do stuff. But he has to stay in the job long enough to get those right players.
I think
Simple
maybe
as.
If we're going to wrap up, I don't know, but I think a big mistake a lot of football supporters do is that we don't treat every situation as a unique situation. Like, for example, I'm comparing that, a team inherited by Klopp and what he was able to do with that team. Klopp is not Arteta. There are different ways to get results.
And that team isn't Arteta's
different personalities, different everything.
So I mean, I agree with both of you to certain extents. I say, if I was making the decisions, if I was the board, I would rush to maybe get someone who I feel can make things work quickly, work with these players that I
motivate
have.
These
but at the same time, if I had the luxury of time, I would allow Arteta the same patience maybe we've afforded to people like Lampard, who've come good now and shown like, yo, look at the players. These are my players now. The Hakim Ziyech and the... Yeah. So I think not even next season, later on, second half of this season is going to be telling. It's going to be the proving ground. It's going to be the litmus test.
I think January, if he survives until January,
because
there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games,
and I think he will.
Because
your club is not. You're not trigger happy as many clubs.
No,
are.
we're not.
Yeah.
We've never been. Yeah. But even the management, even in terms of how the different portfolios they have in America with the different sports franchises that they have, they're just not that reactive. And I hope that plays to his favor. Yeah. But I think January is going to be crucial because if he doesn't manage to get some players
things will be bad.
That can immediately change the way he plays, things are going to be very, very bad. And you see, when it comes back to what you said with Klopp and all these guys, of course, every situation is unique, right? But that's what we don't know now with Arteta because they have no experience. This guy has no experience.
Exactly.
Even his coaching staff doesn't have that experience.
So, in my opinion, you guys have a lifetime debt to United because the way things are looking, the 3 points Manchester gave you will either make you stay in the league or not. So if you
get that drastic,
so if you stay in the league, you have to be thankful to United.
I mean, these are the same guys that said United was going to get relegated.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't following this guy last year, but I'm pretty freaking sure this guy was relegation battle.
I don't think that can happen in modern football.
If you get relegated, United or somebody to look side, we did everything we could.
We gave you a win at Old Trafford. Come on. All right, guys. We do hope you enjoyed this episode. Obviously, it has dragged on, but there was a lot to discuss, man. There were some big results. And man, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week.